Kel Mitchell of Keenan and Kel, if you are familiar with those two, he was in an interview recently and he talked about something that I think that a lot of people have. A lot of people are dealing with this and they don't even know it. And he talks about this and breaks it down in a very easy and digestible way. I want to get into this clip so we can see just what might be holding some people back, just what might be causing troubles in people's current lives. I mean, the whole nine. Let's get into this.
Be careful who you lay down with, because when you mix the spirits, that's what you do. You know, when you're having sex with people, you're bonding within that. That's when people break up, and they might break up with somebody, but that person could still have a hold on them. They tell them something, you get that phone call, and that heart and the stuff like, because they're connected, is a soul tie. So you gotta be able to get that off of you too. You might break up with somebody, but there can be soul ties. And you don't know what they're connected to as well. Anybody you've ever laid down with, I want you to say, take my spirit out of them, say their name, and then take their spirit out of you, and say that. And so for anybody's listening, they need to really do that. Because the thing about it is that you take all that to different relationships, and you take that wherever you go. You have a homie here, you know, and you see the difference within them. It could be the spiritual connection that they have with someone that needs to be broken because it's a toxic, you know what I mean? And demonic within that way.
Straight up, man. I mean, and I wanted to talk about this because it's very prevalent in the world today that we're in what we call hookup culture, and everyone's hooking up with one another. Marriage is not something that people are looking for these days. It's not something that's being sought after. And for the people that are seeking after marriage, it seems like it's probably hard for them to find marriage because of the culture we're in, because of the way things are set up. And you got to be careful with that stuff. I know it sounds fun. A lot of people, especially the younger crowd, as they start getting older and start, aging out of high school, getting into college, stepping into the real world, as people say, I know that they have this urge and this strong desire to run out into the world and try everything out and see how this is going to feel, see how this is going to be. What is it like being with this person? What is it like being with that person? And if we could just be honest, man, not only is it just something that's just kind of just not safe because it's disgusting to have multiple partners and like be heavily involved in this hookup culture that we see today in the dating realm, but it's not safe, man. It's not safe for more reasons than just the health reasons, but we just heard it on the spiritual aspect of things. There's a reason why, sex is it's supposed to be such a beautiful thing. It's supposed to be with two people that honestly love each other, and it's something that God created for man and women. There's almost some like a sort of worship that takes place between two people that are submitted to God, and then they go and have and share intercourse together. But that's not happening in today's world. It's like everyone's just swiping and everyone's just sliding in DMs and hitting people up and hooking up. And where does that leave you? For the men, where does that put you as a man? I know some people would say that, oh, well, I need my options. It's good to have options as a man. You're supposed to have, oh, I'm a man. But what does that really speak of you? And then sometimes you got to think of stuff like this. You got to think that at one point in time for young men, you're not going to be a young man. One day you may be a father. And when you become a father, you may have daughters. And would you want someone to run through your daughters the way that people are running through other people's daughters out here today? Absolutely not. So start to not do that now. And for the women on that aspect, what does it say to you to just give yourself freely, to just give yourself out there to just anyone? Do we not have value in ourselves? Do we not understand the value in the intercourse itself, in sharing and being that vulnerable with another person? Do we not understand the value in that? That we just join this culture and join this wave of just hooking up Spring break cooking up, summer break cooking up, fling here, fling there, fling over there, fling over there. We're like a boomerang culture, just flinging it up. But where's the benefit in that? And then we don't realize that we get to a point where there is so much depression, there is so much anxiety. It's like we adopted the hookup culture, and because of the hookup culture, you now moved into what we have, the anxiety generation, the depressed generation. Everyone's anxious. Everyone's going through. Everyone's needing therapy. Because why? These ties. So you never really know what kind of a person you're connecting yourself to when you give yourself to them sexually, emotionally, mentally, whatever. You never really know what you're connecting to. This is why it's so important that the Bible tells us that we have to be equally yoked. How can two walk together except they be in agreement? If you're not in agreement, and I mean in agreement, it's not, oh, well, we agree with some things and then we don't agree with the others, or these things we agree with, but over there, in agreement, 100% agreement. How can you walk together? How can two walk together if they are not in 100% agreement? And we, being a part of this culture, have gotten to a place in this world, in today's time, where we don't understand what we're doing to ourselves by joining the hookup culture, by giving ourselves to just any and everyone, because it's a party and this is what we do. Or because we've been talking for a little bit, we're going through a talking stage, they slid in my DM, so now I need to give them some. Where's the value in that? Where's the value in that? You got to pray these things off, man. You never know what a person is dealing with. You never know what demons they're fighting. It sounds all fun and games on the surface of things. It sounds all cool on the surface level when it's like, oh, let's hook up, let's have fun, we're young, you're only going to be young once. That's what everyone says, man, you're only going to be young once. It sounds cool, but when the diseases come in, when the strongholds come in and you don't know why or what's going on, why are you always anxious, why are you always depressed, why you can't keep a relationship steady, why your current relationships are never working, because there are ties that you've had that you did not realize you had. I'm not talking about this from a clean perspective or whatever. I've had a past life. And I've had to do exactly what Kel Mitchell said in this. You have to pray those things off and you have to rebuke them and you have to ask them to be gone and left and leave, because it's not beneficial to who you are currently. But we make mistakes, man. We make mistakes. We all fall victim to something. It's not hard to fall victim to the processes of the world, to the theology of the world, the way that the world works. It's not hard to follow that. It's pretty much rushed. It's put in front of our faces, billboards, ads, commercials, whatever the case may be. It's right in front of our face telling us what we should enjoy, what we should have, what we should do, where we should go, what we should eat, what we should wear, everything. It's right there in front of us. So it's not hard to follow the way of the world. It's not, man. But this is real stuff that people aren't realizing. People used to always say, like, oh, it's not what it seems. It's not what it looks like. On the surface, it looks like you're just hooking up with somebody. On the surface, it looks like you're just having fun. We're just hanging out, just having a good time. We're young. We're young. On the surface, that's what it looks like. But deep down, we don't even realize what we're really giving ourselves to. We don't know. We don't know. And we put ourselves in the most vulnerable positions. Give ourselves in the most vulnerable way to people we're not married to just people out on the road, just people that we meet, people that we just meet through social media, people that you just known for a long, oh, I've known him for a long time. It doesn't matter if you've known him for a long time. Do you know his heart? Are you guys in agreement? Is this a relationship from God? People try to take these things lightly, man, but it's real. It's real. It's serious out here, man. It's there's real spiritual warfare. There's real spiritual attacks. There's real things trying to keep you down. And you don't have to believe it if you don't want to. But the proof is in the pudding. There's evil forces out here trying to keep you down because you do matter and you are important, which is why you need to take care of yourself and not submit yourself to just any old thing and any old one. Especially not in a vulnerable way such as having intercourse. No. That's all I got for you guys on this one. To the next one. I'm out.